Hello, hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna. I'm a little bit spooky, and today we're just gonna hang out and do some makeup because why not? We can do a little chit chat, get ready with me type of thing, even though I'm not really getting ready to go do anything. I figure we can just hang out together, have a little conversation, drink some coffee, and put on some makeup. So if that interests you, just go ahead and keep on watching. But before you do, don't forget to like and subscribe. And comment down below if you have any thoughts on what we talk about in this video. Alright, let's grab some coffee and get started. I think I'm going to start with my eyes today. A little different. Lately I have been doing face first, doing underpainting. We're still going to underpaint today, but I'm going to start with my eyes, and I just really want to play with Natasha Denona again with the Yucca palette because I love it, and it's so pretty, and I just want to do some more looks with it. Today I want to lean into the peachy tones, and we're going to keep it a little simple. I think I'm going to go with this peach tone down here. It's kind of peachy matte here. This one up here in the upper corner called Plantasia, which is a peach with a bit of gold and a green shift in there, and maybe we'll use a bit of flax just to deepen things up. So yeah, let's just get on started with that. I'm gonna grab me a little brush. Hello, here it is. So I'm gonna take a diffuse crease from Sigma, and we'll start with that peachy matte color first. I don't know how to pronounce that name. It's IXIA. Your guess is as good as mine on that pronunciation. But we're gonna start with that and just gonna build that in the outer corner up to into the socket a little bit, just right out here. I don't have a strict plan on the look. We're just gonna see where it goes, how things end up. I'm gonna tilt it down just a touch, okay, so I can slouch and have bad posture. So yeah, what have y'all been up to lately? What have you been doing this summer? It's so hot. I keep seeing either it's like record cool summers in some places, and then here, record highs. So fun. Oh my god. It's like unbelievably hot right now outside. Kind of torture. And I think 5 parishes within my state, a little bit north of me, are all without power and have been without power for like 2 days now. Whew. I can't imagine. I cannot imagine in this heat. Like, I mean, obviously I've been through hurricanes in August heat, but it's never been this hot. And I don't know, it just feels different. Anyway, so my friend is actually coming down to stay, who lives up northern Louisiana, and yeah, because he just doesn't have power and it's horrible. So it's like, just come stay with us, jeez. There's no sense just suffering in heat up there when you come down here. Other than that's most exciting thing around here is just unbearable heat in the summer, or this summer. No specific plans of anything fun to do on my part. What I have been focusing on this summer, though, so far has been exercising and strength training. Particularly, I've been, if I touch my eyeball one more time with this brush. But I've been really into strength training lately. And I think I'm on month 2 of like really getting into it, working hard. I finished up physical therapy a while back, and just now gotten really back into the gym and lifting and doing the big stuff. So that has been going really well, and yeah, I'm very proud of some of the accomplishments I've made. They're small accomplishments, but they're big accomplishments to me, like just lifting heavier weights, doing new movements and things I didn't think I would be able to do. I'm particularly focused on core strength and back strength, chest strength areas. That's that's like the main areas I truly want to work on, because that's what I need to work on the most with my back issues. That's the most helpful things to do, because I want to take as much pressure off my spine as possible. And the stronger the muscles are, the less pressure it is on the bones. You know, they can kind of support a little better. So that's been what I've been doing a lot. And just seeing like little progress I've made in that field has been very encouraging. And yeah, like the other day, I went and got groceries and just did my normal shopping, which used to be like something that would wipe me out. Like that was one of those things that I would struggle with, is just a simple task of going to get the groceries. And I'm not talking about like getting crazy big groceries either. Just going and grabbing the stuff for me and my husband for like a week groceries. That I would usually need help with it. Like by the time I got to the car, he had to unload the car for me. By the time I got to the checkout, unloading the cart was a real struggle, and I was just about to collapse in pain at that point. And yesterday, I went, did my grocery shopping, and just, it was such a breeze that I got out to the car and, like, you know, I loaded the groceries in the car. I sat down in the car. I wasn't winded. I wasn't in pain. I didn't feel terrible. I was just like, oh, that was nothing. I felt like I was 25 again yesterday, and that was a really good feeling. Because, yeah, to be able to just go through the checkout, no problems, not just be like leaning on my buggy the whole time I'm in the store for support, was really good. To not feel the need to bring my cane with me, or, you know, some sort of mobility aid as almost even like a security blanket, because it almost got to where it was just, I was nervous not to have something with me. Really good feeling. I felt it was felt free again. I felt a sense of freedom that I haven't felt in a long time within my own body, and I don't know how to describe like just how happy I am about that feeling. Like I almost wanted to cry because I was so happy. All right, let's take a little bit of flax and which is that cool brown shade, and put some of that a little more focused out here. But anyway, yeah, so that's going really well. And I had my 6-month checkup with my breast doctor. I go to a special, I know I've talked about this stuff before, but in case you missed a video, vlog, whatever. I go to a breast specialist every 6 months to track breast health. I'm high risk for breast cancer. I have fibrocystic breast disease. And yeah, so I have to be pretty closely monitored on that kind of thing. And I've been kind of working towards having a mastectomy and reconstruction. That's kind of the end goal. And, you know, working towards that, right? So I had my 6-month checkup. And this is, I think, my 4th appointment with this doctor. In total, I've had 1 MRI. I've had multiple, you know, mammograms now, and multiple physical exams, multiple ultrasounds. So, you know, after she's gotten a good kind of basis of comparison for my body, for, you know, my health and everything and what's going on. And she's like looking at, you know, everything. She's like, you're not an emergency situation. You don't have cancer or anything going on. And she's like, judging from, you know, previous things, just everything looks good in here. Like things are fine. You have the fibrocystic breast disease, yeah, but you know, you're getting the checkups and everything, and you know, we're keeping an eye on everything, you know, watching. And so she's like, you don't have to be in this crazy rush to have the mastectomy. And she's like, and since you are working on yourself right now and working out and trying really hard, so she said, since it's not an emergency situation, she's like, you pretty much have the kind of the luxury of taking this time to get yourself in the best health possible. You have this great opportunity and the kind of a gift of being able to do this that a lot of people don't get. of being able to prepare for a major surgery and get yourself in the best health possible leading up to that. And so that's what me and her kind of agreed on now, is to take a year. She wants me to take a year, work as best I can to get my cardiovascular system in peak health, my lungs in really good health, as best as I can do, and work on strength training the core area, because those muscles are also very important for this type of surgery that I'm looking at, the reconstruction. You want strong, good chest muscles. You want your core to be strong, because you're going to need those muscles. You're going to need your back to be strong, because you're going to have pretty limited mobility with your arms at the time. And just the stronger you are going in, the better odds are of a successful outcome and healing, easy recovery. And there is no easy recovery from these types of surgeries, but you kind of get a little bit of a leg up, right? So that's the goal right now, is to work towards that and being the best condition I can get myself in prior to surgery. Because just like, don't, you've got a good opportunity here to set yourself up for success with this and take the opportunity. You have the time to do it. You have a little bit of a luxury of time with this. Let's do it right, and you don't have to rush into anything. And also have that year to really mentally prepare and financially prepare, all the things, because obviously finances play a role in it too. Insurance is going to cover a good chunk of everything, but still, you still have your deductible. It's out of pocket if you have insurance, and it's a lot. Everybody's deductible is different. I honestly can't remember what mine is. I keep wanting to say around $7,000, but I really don't remember. I have to look on whenever I get a letter from insurance, I can look on that and see. But anyway, so I need to be able to have a good portion in savings. I know that a lot of surgeons and stuff do work with you on the financial side of things, so that is good. But there's still expenses, not just the surgery expenses, but there's the travel expenses. There's a lot of logistics involved, because not only it would it'd be a hospital stay, there's still a hotel stay where you can't leave town immediately after the surgery. And my surgery is going to be out of town regardless which surgeon I go to. They're all going to be at least 2 hours away from me, 2 to 4 hour distance. And yeah, so that's kind of giving me a little bit of peace of mind, give me this year to really think about it and revisit it in spring, summer 2024. Because I was thinking, we talk about it every time I visit her, right? And we were going to start doing this meeting with surgeons this year. And she's like, you have this opportunity to take some more time if you want to, and really focus on your health and try to strengthen your body, strengthen your cardiovascular system and your lungs and everything, because the surgeries are not short surgeries. Either type of procedure I go with, it's at least a 4-hour procedure. It can go anywhere to up to 8 hours depending, and you're under anesthesia all that time. A lot, depending on the procedure, all of them do require some form of grafting involved, and you really need good blood flow through the grafted materials and the vessels that will be reconnected and all that kind of stuff. And so there's a risk of necrosis if you lose blood flow, and so there's a lot to keep in mind. And she's like, just take this time though to make yourself the ideal candidate for whatever surgery we end up going with, and being the final choice. It's best to pretend like it's almost like it's good to prepare for the most major one. I guess in my mind that's what I'm doing. And there's so many options now as far as the reconstruction goes. There's a lot of ways to do it, and it's not just slap some implants in. It's not like a boob job at all. A lot of people think it is just going to be like a boob job where you just tuck in some implants in there. I mean, you're having all of your breast material removed, for one thing. And then on top of that, it can be an implant placed in immediately. It could be expanders that you have to have slowly filled over time with saline to stretch the skin. There's that. There's fat transfers that they can do. They can build the whole breast out of just fat, which is kind of what I'm looking at. I kind of want to avoid implants if I can, but in the end, it just depends on what I'm the best candidate for. Talking to the surgeons over all the options, and meeting with multiple surgeons is another part of it. And so I got a list of surgeons she wrote down for me that I can just call and talk to. You know, so you can call, research them. You can call their office and maybe have like a little bit of a phone conversation and just see if they can send you some more information, whatever. Really look into things. And yeah, I'm still leaning towards the clinic in New Orleans, just because I think that's what they specialize in, is reconstructions and all of that. Like, that's their specialty. Patented procedures, and like they're kind of one of the top facilities in the world. There's a few facilities, obviously, but they have people come from literally all over the world to have their procedures there, because of they're kind of like the groundbreaking place. And what are the odds that they're in New Orleans and so close to me that I have that opportunity to be able to go to them? So that is nice, and that's part of the one I'm most confident in. But I'm going to consult other surgeons, obviously. I'm not opposed to going out of state. I mean, yeah, I'm not opposed to travel for something like this, because it is something worth traveling over. You know, you want the best results. You don't want to end up miserable afterwards and all that. And yeah, I'm fully aware I'm not going to look like myself afterward. I'm going to look different. And I'm prepared for that. I think, you know, as much as you mentally can be prepared for having a new body, basically. So that's another little aspect of it, mentally preparing for that and looking different, because you're going to look different. It doesn't matter which procedure you go with. It's not going to look like it did before. And thankfully, I'm not somebody who is particularly self-conscious about my body that much, or I'm not that bothered over imperfection or looking different. I grew up looking different. I grew up with disabilities and having some deformities, and if that's what you want to call them. I mean, that does not sound like a nice word, does it? But I grew up having very obvious parts of my body does not look like everyone else's. And so I'm not that bothered about that kind of stuff, because I'm used to it. This sounds weird, but it's true. I'm used to not having a normal body. So it's one more part of me not looking normal, and I already have weird looking boobs as it is, because I have the fibrocystic breast disease. And you know, they've changed over time because of that. They look different than they used to. Alright, let's take a little bit of the shade Plantasia. I'm going to take that on my finger and go across the lid. But I know I ramble about this not infrequently over here. But it helps me to kind of get my thoughts in order to talk to you guys about this stuff. It does. It helps me kind of get my brain together and my thoughts aligned. A little bit like a therapy session with just myself, because I don't like people enough. No, I'm kidding. It's a little bit like a therapy session with myself, and then I can hear myself back when I edit the video and kind of, I don't know, it's very, very helpful. This is like almost a form of journaling in a way that I think is very beneficial. Oh, that's so pretty. Look at that. It's reading green, I think, in my mirror right now, but it's like a peachy shade with like a lime green flip in there. It's kind of like a topper shade. It's very sparkly, very pretty, and it does build up to have a nice opacity. I'm just gonna swipe that up and out a bit. I think that looks so pretty. I love it. But yeah, I know that I probably talk you guys' ear off about that kind of stuff a lot because I can get a little one-track mind about it in a way, which, you know, something big is going on. It's kind of something you focus on a lot in your head. But it was such a good appointment with the doctor that I'm feeling very positive about everything and just kind of feeling a really big sense of relief as well, with her just saying it's not an emergency situation either. Now, I'm coming at you from somebody who had convinced himself they had breast cancer and was... I've got real trigger over that subject that has improved a lot. I'm not quite as panicky over it anymore as I used to be. Just having this little bit extra time, I think, goes good on my brain. It's gonna help me relax a little bit. Because I was not only worried about the surgery itself, I was worried about finances. I was worried about just logistics, and just there was a lot that I was kind of getting a little panicky about because it's just almost like it's too much. And having a little time to really focus is nice. I was talking to my mother-in-law about it, and she's like kind of like, I think this is a good thing. This timing, you know, it getting pushed back a bit is for the best, and just gives us all kind of time to prepare, because she wants to come take care of me after the surgery. She wants to, you know, be there for me, because this is one of those scenarios you definitely need a mom. You know, any kind of major surgery like that, you just want a mom. You want a parent around, and it's definitely gonna be one of those times where I think I'm gonna need her. And my stepmom has also offered to, you know, come sit with me and stuff, and I have friends and that would most definitely be more than willing to come hang out with me when my husband does have to go back to work. And also, you know, my husband's pretty fortunate with his job that he can take off a good bit of time. He can get compassionate leave or something for if I have surgery or whatever. But he gets a lot of vacation, a lot of sick time, and they also will allow you to take time for, you know, if something's going on with a spouse as well. And yeah, and with the way his schedule works out, he's off for he works a week on, a week off as it is. So it's not like he would have to take 2 straight weeks off or longer. He can just take a week off and already have 2 weeks off lined up, and it worked out really well. So that's also something that's quite good. This looks so pretty. I love this. I cannot get over this palette, man. I'm obsessed. I'm gonna take some more of that peach just for funsies. Do a little bit of drama. I'm curious what we're doing for dinner tonight. Because my friend's in town. I bought groceries, but I didn't buy like big meal stuff. I bought like, you know, easy little things for me and my husband to eat. They aren't like meals that go a long way. You know, it's just, I bought us basically straight protein and some veggies. We've been eating really clean, so I just bought like pretty simple stuff, and it's not, I don't think, enough to feed anybody but me and him. So we may end up having to go out for dinner, which I'm not opposed to. I'm always down for dinner out. Okay, I'm taking a bit of flax. So I'm thinking we'll probably end up going to get something, or going to eat somewhere. That my husband's gonna need to take a shower when he gets home because of this heat. He texted me around 8 this morning and said that he was already pouring sweat and had been up and down outside working. This is a pretty physically demanding job that is indoor, outdoor, all over the place. I'm going to take a little bit of Ray, which is the metallic. I think that'll be pretty right here. Just on the inner part. Nice. I'm just applying it with this brush, because I kind of want like a wash of it. Ooh, so sparkly. And you know, there's no fallout with this palette, which is what's really impressive. These super glittery shades to not have like little to no fallout. Natasha, you're doing something right. Now I feel like I need to get like all her palettes because of how much I'm loving this one and how much I love Metropolis as it is. Like, I want the Glam palette. I want my Dream palette. I want the Retro palette. Give me all the palettes. I don't feel like using an actual primer today. I just don't. I'm gonna take some of the e.l.f. Hello Halo. No, I always want to call it Hello Halo. Halo Glow. The Hello Halo. That is Wet n Wild. Halo Glow. I'm gonna take some of this on my face first. Get a nice little glow going. And this shade is a bit deep on me. It gives me a nice bit of warmth to my skin. And kind of gives it a little bit of a sun-kissed look, like I've been outside, even though I have not. And seen sunlight, even though I have not really. I'm just going to buff this out with a dual complexion brush from e.l.f. as well. I do like this brush a lot. But I like how this shade, this is the Fair Light shade 2. So it's a bit warm on me compared to, like, say, my Flawless Filter in the lightest shade. But it's nice for summer because of that bit of added warmth in it. I'm just gonna blend that down the neck, kind of around the perimeter. I want some nice glowy skin today. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of cream bronzing contouring situation. I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sunkissed Glow Bronzer for this step. Kind of trying something new with this one. I don't usually underpaint with this product or this shade, but I kind of want to see what it'll do. Just want to see what it'll look like. So I'm taking some of this on a putty brush from e.l.f. I'm going to tap off the excess. And just kind of apply some more as a bronzer around the perimeter. I kind of want just a nice warm glow to the skin today. Okay, so I have a question. If any of you guys work out or use like protein powders, what are your favorites? I am struggling to find any of them that I like the taste of, that don't taste like whey protein. I hate that taste. Just bleh. And I have a hard time finding some that I like. I like anything that is chocolate, coffee flavor. That's what I'm going for. I'm not a big fan of anything fruity or anything like that, or anything like off the beaten path when it comes to my protein smoothies. I make smoothies at home a lot with them. I like chocolate flavored ones because it lends itself well to adding a bit of cold brew to it. So that's what I'm gearing towards. I want something with, you know, a good bit of like collagen in it, no added sugar, no low carb if possible. So if you guys know anything, any of them that I might like that kind of fit that bill, let me know. Because I spent probably 30 minutes looking at them at the store the other day and ended up just getting a freaking Slim Fast one because I knew it tastes the best out of all of them and had the best kind of nutrition facts or whatever on the back. Because I want one that's not full of junk. And yeah, so I'm thinking I'm gonna do a little research online probably, but if y'all know any of them in particular that you think I would enjoy or that sound like something I would like, let me know. So right now I'm just gonna experimenting, trying to find that perfect one. I wish you could buy like sample sizes of protein mix to just taste them and try them out. Essentially, I want something that's gonna taste like the coffee smoothie I get from Smoothie King. That's what I want it to taste like. And not been easy. I'm coming close with them at home, experimenting. The one I made this morning was really good. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of weight training, and you kind of need a little bit of that protein game when you're doing that. I definitely know I'm not taking enough protein, so I'm trying to kind of add that in where I can. And yeah, so that's just why one of those little changes I'm trying to make is making sure I get enough of my nutrients every day and have a little bit more of a well-rounded diet and actually eat meals and quit skipping meals. That was a big problem I had, was just skipping meals. Like, I make myself have a breakfast now and have a dinner and lunch. Well, I didn't have lunch today. Kind of forgot. But I got up late and had my smoothie kind of late, so. All right, I'm gonna take some concealer. This is the Butter Glow from Physicians Formula. And I'm just gonna put a little bit right here. Probably too much, but whatever. And I'm gonna just buff this out with the dual complexion brush. I definitely applied too much concealer, but it will be okay. I was underpainting with blush too, but I feel like that was just almost repetitive. I'm like, okay, I don't think I need 2 layers of blush. I could just use the blush. It was feeling a bit too much, like layering on 2 different blushes, which I don't mind doing, but I don't know, it was feeling a little repetitive, and I wasn't noticing anything miraculous from doing that step. But I do like having the contour underneath and doing the concealer before the foundation and kind of finishing all the cream steps off with foundation. Put a little bit down my nose here. Too much concealer. Take some of this away. I'm just kind of picking the excess up off with the brush and then wiping it off on my hand. It was kind of cool though. When I went to my doctor's appointment, we the way we go into town, there's like really nothing to eat. It's not much to look at. It's very kind of industrial part of town where it's like construction companies and car repair, that kind of stuff, like warehouses, like pouring stuff. And there's only like a couple of fast food places going that direction. So I Googled, restaurants near me, and I saw that they had one of my favorite places to eat there, and it was pretty close by. So we went that direction and found a whole new part of town that I didn't know existed in Baton Rouge that was like super nice and has all kind of like shops and restaurants and really nice stuff. And I was like, ooh, we found the fancy area. Heck yeah. So now I know that part of town exists with a ton of restaurants and kind of shops to go to and things to look at. I'm excited about that. So now I have something to look forward to after my appointments to kind of, we can set aside some extra time to go explore. And I'm just blending everything together. It was really nice part of town. And there was a bunch of restaurants over that direction to check out. So I'm pretty excited. So I think we can make a little day of it. I'm gonna take a little bit of the It Cosmetics CC Nude Glow Your Skin But Butter foundation. I'm just gonna take a pump of this because I don't think I'll need much, because I got a lot of coverage from that concealer because I applied way too much. A little bit of this on just to mesh everything together. I forgot how much I love this foundation. It's definitely a summer shade for me, practically a self-tanner shade because it is a bit dark on me, but gosh, it's so pretty. I do need to pick this up in my proper year-round shade. As you can see, it is a little bit deep on me, but I'm just gonna pull it down the neck. I still have a little self-tan on the rest of me. I was gonna do some self-tanner tonight, but I'm going swimming tomorrow. I don't want to do self-tanner if I'm going to go swimming because it's gonna, like, I don't know, I feel like it'll mess it up. Even though that's the time you want to be tan, I guess, is when you're going swimming. And I don't feel like tanning my whole body either. So I'm just gonna wait and do that Monday. I think we're just gonna go do a little pool party. Not really a pool party, but just going swimming at a friend's house because it is so hot. And it's something to do. I'm not 100% committed if I'm going yet. I'll probably go. It's like, do I want to have to take a bath in sunscreen tomorrow? It's worth it. And I do have some sunscreen. But yeah, it's like so hot here right now that I don't even want to go like sit outside in the morning. Usually I sit outside in the morning with Pumpkin, or like when I get up. Like, I'm talking like 5 a.m. And it usually feels really good at that time of day, right? You know, it's cool, it's a little breezy still, it's not gotten super hot. No. It's like balmy at that time and miserable too. And then you're just also getting eaten by mosquitoes, so nope. I'm gonna set everything down. I think I'm gonna use some Halo Glow setting powder now. Because ooh, you're glowy today. And I'm just kind of leaning into this is the light pink shade. I am getting low. I need to get some more. And I'm gonna start with taking it on a fluffy brush to set around the eyes. I love about this powder is that it keeps you like glowy, but it also like disguises pores. So you get the glow without the texture. But I like to use a small brush just around here just to get it all right in there where I need it. Because we definitely need to set the face today because of this heat. Like even with the AC on, it's still like you can feel the heat coming through the walls and windows. A larger brush, just the rest of the face. But yeah, I've been working out with my husband. He's kind of my workout partner. And he's so like motivational because he'll like, that's me, hey, see if you can do this, try this. He just kind of gets me to try things. Like he will increase like weight on something without telling me sometimes by like a few pounds just to see if I can do it. And he's like, hey, guess what? It's kind of nice because he's not like doing something he knows I can't do. But he just encourages me to do a little bit more and try a little harder sometimes when I'm maybe feeling a little deterred from trying something, I guess. And it's fun just having someone with you when you try new workouts and things. It's someone to bounce ideas off of, making sure your form is correct, that kind of thing. And it's been really fun working out together. So on days that he works, I do little at-home workouts, which is so boring. Like I don't know, I just have like a 10-pound set of weights and a 5-pound set of weights that I work with, and I have a medicine ball, I have a TheraBand, and a yoga mat. So I just kind of do what I can with those items and do a lot of like more like leaning into like Pilates type of stuff and using my own body weight and still get a pretty dang good workout. It's just not quite as fun because I don't know, something about having somebody working out with you and being in the gym setting, it's more motivating for me to do things. Okay, I'm jumping over to Hourglass palette. I'm taking some dim light, I think. I just want to brighten up a little bit over here. I think this is dim light, the yellow, light yellow. I'm gonna take a little bit of diffused light. It's more as a kind of a finishing powder, I guess. You don't need both those powders. I just have them in a palette together and I kind of just bounce between them. I'm gonna jump over to a different brush here and I'm gonna take some of the bronzer from this palette. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in the lightest shade. We're gonna warm up the perimeter with this and kind of set where we bronzed earlier and all of that. You get good longevity by layering products. And sometimes I layer the brush, sometimes I layer the blush, sometimes I don't. I just wasn't in the mood to do it today. This is still my favorite bronzer of all bronzer. Like I love my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, different one, a couple of them, like the Beautiful Skin bronzer, and I love the Film Star Bronze and Glow, but this Hourglass bronzer is still just kind of #1 for me. I feel like we need a peachier blush for this eye look. Luminoso will do the trick for sure. Yep, perfect. All right, we are blushy. I don't really think we need highlighter necessarily, so I'm not gonna fool with any highlighter today. You don't always have to do the highlighter. I have a hard time doing that myself, being like, use some restraint here. We don't have to pile on the highlighter and have super glowy face everywhere else. Just bring it in a notch. In the T-zone, I'm going to take a little bit of my number 7 Lift and Illuminate just to take down any excess shininess right in this area. I'm so close to being done with this powder. Ooh, I love the feeling of hitting pan, which I mean, I might as well just go ahead and buy a new one. This one's pretty much done, but we'll try to use that little bit we got left. There we go. Just take down that shine on the inner part of the face. Lower lash line, I'm going to put a little bit of that peachy tone we used on the rest of the eye. I'll run that just along underneath. I'm going to take the Detail Diffuse crease, soften it up. All right, and I'm going to take a bit of Ray on a little teeny tiny detail brush, just right here. I'll take a little bit of Plantasia. I'm going to take a little more flax just to kind of deepen up right here on the outer corner. So I'm not doing eyeliner, but I want a little bit of depth right here. I'm gonna treat this as my liner. Do a quick little misting of setting spray. That just felt good. And let me think about what I want to put on the lips. I think something kind of orangey peach is the color to go with. I'm doing a little bit of lip liner from Colored Rain. This is the shade, the Buzz. We'll use this liquid lipstick from Colored Rain in the shade Beautiful. Oh, so if any of you guys watch The Idol, let me know your thoughts down below, how you feel about it. I'm of two minds with Euphoria and this show, where I don't love how kind of exploitive things are. Like, it feels weird with particularly Euphoria because they're basically children in that show. So I feel kind of funny about that side of it. But the cinematography of those shows is so beautiful. So I started watching The Idol. The music is phenomenal. The cinematography is amazing. The set design, like the whole aesthetic of the show is wonderful. The Weeknd is in it. I love The Weeknd. I'm a fan of him. And so it's really cool seeing him in an acting role. And I think he was involved in some of the writing and stuff. And yeah, that episode 2, I think a lot of people feeling a lot of emotions from what I saw on Twitter. And I was like, yeah, I couldn't tell if we were getting into like a 50 Shades of Grey vibe here or if it was kind of ick. And I think it's supposed to be kind of give you the icks. If that's the point of the scene, is to make you uncomfortable. The Weeknd's character is not supposed to be a good guy. He's not a good guy. Like, he's meant to be manipulative. You're not supposed to like his character, and I think they're trying to depict him being kind of a shitty person, and how he's going to take advantage of Lily Rose Depp's character. The debate around this show has been quite interesting, though, because it really does give you mixed feelings about a lot of stuff, and I feel that way about Euphoria too. Like, sometimes it's not a show you feel good watching. But it's the point of the show, I know, is to make you like uncomfortable and all of that. And just stepping back and looking at the shows for the artistic side of things, like the cinematography just being A+, beautifully done. That's one thing. You know, subject matter can be pretty ick. And I mean, there were scenes in Euphoria that made me very uncomfortable and did not like. That was like, these are children. But so I think, you know, The Idol's going for that same kind of shock vibe to it, to get you talking and being like, whoa. And it's probably not that far off how things are in Hollywood either, how kind of controlling and things are for musicians, especially like this type of character, like kind of a Britney Spears type character. I mean, but some people were very bothered by what was named the worst sex scene in history, I believe, by GQ. Yeah, like I wasn't sitting down watching the show. I was kind of listening to it, and I think I was doing makeup. I was sitting there doing my makeup, like getting ready to film. I was putting like my base makeup on and stuff, and I was just kind of, you know, half watching it. But there was stops where I was like, what now? What? But yeah, I was just curious you guys' thoughts on that show. I'm watching it and I'm like, part of me is enjoying the show and like looking forward to a new episode because I'm like, I want to see how crazy the show is gonna get. But there's also like a part of me that's watching it's going, ugh. That's the same feeling I have with Euphoria. It sucks you in and you're like, oh my god, this is horrific. But you're also like, but what's gonna happen next? And yeah, it's definitely that kind of show for me. And I really liked the first episode a lot, and really like some of the scenes, like the scene when The Weeknd's walking up her driveway and it like opens and he's got that duster on. I was like, oh my. So I'm personally torn between like being very attracted to The Weeknd in this and then being like, oh no, he's a psycho and ew. So it's kind of But I think that's the point of the character. That's probably what I'm thinking is the point of the character, and it's kind of how they want you to feel. Boy, is that definitely not a kid-friendly show either. Alright, I'm gonna take some of the telescopic lift. But yeah, I was just curious, have you guys watched it, and what do you think of it? But, yeah, that kind of brings up a little bit of thought in me, because I always wonder, how roles affect the actors after they play them. Especially actors that really get into them and kind of method act. Like, I wonder the psychological toll that difficult roles take on people. Because you're having to live in a headspace of a character. Like, you're putting your all into that character in becoming them. Like, how hard is that to turn off when filming's done for one thing? And just, like, it's gotta really mess with people. And then there's the directors that push the actors too far in, I think, a lot of cases it's downright almost abuse or is abusive. Like, what's her name? Shelley Long? Is that correct? From The Shining? Like, Stanley Kubrick drove that poor woman crazy. Pretty much, from what I've heard. In the director of Gone Girl and Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, like, really pushing his actors and basically torturing them to kind of push them out of their comfort zones and stuff, which, one thing, trying to push your actor out of their comfort zone and do a good job is one thing, but sometimes it just feels or seems just too much. I always wonder if, like, shows like Euphoria and those characters do mess with the actresses, because I know they're not the age they're playing, but they're still young. They're still quite young. I wonder if some of that does bleed over into their real life, especially for Zendaya's character. Like, that role of playing the addict that she did such a good job with it that had to stick with her a little bit. I was talking to my friend the other day about Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the US version. One of the actors needing to go to, like, therapy, counseling afterwards, and having almost, like a mental breakdown after doing one of the scenes. I feel weird about that. Like, to me, I don't know, I don't want to watch movies where they're torturing the actors. Like, I get, they're signing up for that or whatever, and, know what it's like to work with said director. To some extent, some of that times it's, agreed upon. Push me, make me do a good job of this role or whatever. But then I think there's times, where it goes too far. I just always wonder about that, especially with young actors and actresses. Kind of, you're young, you're vulnerable, and still, I think, mentally growing a lot, and just, I don't know, it feels weird to me. And I know that they're in their 20s and up in this show, but still, in real life, but the psychological toll it probably takes. Okay, it's mascara done. I'm just curious, what do you guys think of that sort of stuff too? And just a little thought, I hate when shows and movies do something shocking and disturbing just to do it. Like, it doesn't really lend anything to the story. It's unnecessary. They're just purely throwing it in for, like, a shock value thing to make you feel something. I hate that. It's manipulative. It's just, and I don't know, it makes me mad personally. The movie Mother. Has anyone watched that? I don't recommend that movie. I think it's an awful movie. Absolutely awful. I don't want to see anything from this director ever again. That's how much I hate this movie. Like, I don't even want to watch, I never saw Black Swan, but I don't even want to watch it. I'm like, no. I think it was the same guy that directed The Whale. Zero interest in anything he ever makes after watching this movie. I didn't even understand what the movie was about. I had to look it up and read. I didn't, but there was just a scene in it that made me so sick that I legit threw up. It's been a long time since I had a reaction like that to seeing something in a movie. And it was unnecessary. You don't need to be that graphic with a movie. I don't know why this whole things have to be so shocking and so disturbing to get awards and so real. Like, I don't understand it, and I don't like it. I don't know why we have to be disgusted for something considered good art and shocked and disturbed. I'm like, why? Why? Why is this boundary pushing praised? It's unnecessary. If it's depicting real life events and trying to show the realism of a horrible situation, fully understandable. And I understand wanting to depict the fear and the scenario within a movie or show, whatever, and it want to convey a point and convey how dark it is. But sometimes I feel like there are movies that just go too far. The movie Mother being one of them. It didn't need to be that graphic. It didn't need to look that real, because it wasn't supposed to be depicting a real scenario, for one thing. But you know, it's just, I feel like it's just, sometimes it's just too much. But that's neither here nor there. I don't know why I'm got kind of started that little train of thought thinking about the idol, and it actually getting, from what I've seen, some fairly negative feedback and negative reviews. And watching it, I'm like, I didn't think anything necessarily like that I would critique it or review bad about it. It's an interesting storyline so far. I'm interested. I want to see where it's going to go. Yeah, that scene was cringy, but it didn't make me sick watching it. It was just kind of ew and cheesy. If anything, it was a little cheesy and kind of like, eh. And yeah, I'm sure, I think if I actually paid attention to it, I think it was maybe a little gratuitous and didn't need to be that much. And I get the point they're trying to convey with the Weeknd's character. Anyway, I will argue myself in circles about stuff like this, because I'm so bad about, I constantly have to look at both sides of every argument, and like, yeah, I understand why you feel that way, but then I understand why some people feel this way. I'm such a, I wouldn't say fence sitter, I'm not, but I like to be fair and just hear a buddy out and find that middle ground. I don't know, I've always been kind of like that. This is our look all complete. Thanks for hanging out. I love this look. I think this turned out so pretty. I'm all about some peachy warm shades right now and some greens apparently. And I'm absolutely obsessed with the Natasha Denona Yucca palette. I swear, I hate that it is pronounced Yucca, but me and my husband Googled it. It is Yucca, because we were debating it over Yucca or Yucca, because Yucca just sounds better. Apparently it's Yucca. Whatever. But anyway, I'm loving that palette so much. Just so much. I can't wait to like play with it again. Like I haven't gotten that excited about a palette in so long that I just want to keep playing with it. It's fun. It's a good feeling. And to be inspired is really nice. But anyway, let me know your thoughts below on the Yucca palette. And have you watched The Idol? What do you think of it? How do you feel about episode 2? I've got real mixed emotions about episode 2. Let's put it that way. Like, I understand it was supposed to make you not like The Weeknd. Like, I get that. And I think maybe a lot of people want it to be a little more 50 Shades of Grey than it was, and it just kind of ended up being a little icky. Yeah, so there's that. I don't know. I am not a cinema expert here. I am just me in my little corner. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. And do you think sometimes directors may push their actors too far in roles and sometimes depict things just to be kind of gratuitous and exploitive for no reason? That it doesn't enhance the story at all. They're just doing it to be shocking and to just get a rise in the viewer. I think that's manipulative and I don't like it. Let's be real with you there. So let me know your thoughts on that. And if you have some protein shakes that you like, protein powders that don't taste like whey protein, let me know that also. And yeah, that's all for today. Thanks for hanging out. I just wanted to sit down and chat. So, all right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay spooky. Bye now.